Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League. This is the finale of Season 20 of the Eco Performance League for IRL, and we're here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix at Interlagos. A very firm favourite with the drivers, Sao Paulo and Interlagos. It's a fantastic circuit to race on. It broke ground in 1940 and holds obviously the Formula 1 WEC 6 hours of Sao Paulo, TCR in South America. Used to hold some motorcycle racing along with the TCR World Tour, but that does not happen at the moment. And the current Grand Prix circuit has a race lap record of 1 minute 10.540 by Valtteri Bottas in 2018. The course currently 4.3 kilometres long, 2.67 miles, 15 turns, and some fantastic names to go with that. But we are here, we have a confirmed Drivers' Champion, Gattuso of Aston Martin. He has won the Drivers' Championship this season. He wrapped up last week in Abu Dhabi. So massive congratulations to him. Obviously, it's a good achievement for Gattuso. He's been strong all season, had his hiccups, but all season he's had a good, strong pace. However, the Constructors is a very different story. We have a three-way fight for the Constructors' Championship. Coming into this, Aston Martin have 171 points, Williams have 165, Mercedes 150. All three of those mathematically possible to win this championship. But there's only one way to find out who's going to win it. My name is JPH, and as always, I'm going to take you through all of the action tonight for this Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We've got drivers out on circuit, so we're going to get the track map up. We'll get some telemetry and lap data for qualifying. Nitric Gas Ginger doing their usual, going out on medium tyres. We've got 14 drivers tonight, which is good to see. Good strong little bit of number at the end of this season. And we're going to follow, let's get on board with Kent. So he slows right up, gets everything prepared, hot lap engaged as he comes out of Junsao and passes the lead of their boxes. Up towards the start line we go. Cross the line, keep it to the right hand side for the Senna S. Hit the brakes around about 50 metres there for Kent. Wow, a bit of a twitch as he gets through the second part of the Senna S and through the curve of De Sol. Down the right at Aposta, DRS open. Again, keep to the right hand side because you want to go open up Decido del Lago. Turns 4 and 5. Try and let it roll through the corner as much as you can to pick up the throttle, because this will get you all the way down, up the hill then, towards Ferradura and Larinia. And through the horseshoe we go. Into turn 8 and then into Pinheirinho. Very easy to lose the back end. We head up towards the Bico to Pato. All the hairpins are gradually getting tighter and tighter. Mergulio, a flat left-hander in the dry, and should be in the race if it's dry as well. Into Junsao, don't take the curb too much, it will spin the car. Use as much curb as you can on the outside. 13's flat, 14's leading their boxes. That's flat as well. 15, this little kink here, this is flat. Keep it left. Kent's going to opt to go to the right, so obviously not his best lap, a 108.833. But normally you would keep it to the left-hand side for the shortest run to the line. Matthew Rudd puts in a 109.8. Good evening, Spud. I'm also going to say good evening to Stephen. I believe he commented on the other stream, but it wasn't quite working for me, so I had to reboot it. And Spud letting us know it looks to be dry for both qualifying and the race. I mean, it's like a shame. I would expect a bit of weather from Interlagos, but not to be tonight. Jack puts in a 108.2. Question is, Roddo's in the pits. We've got IRC Bruce, who unfortunately invalidated his lap, probably coming out of Junsao. Not an ideal start for the Williams. Typhoon is putting in a 108.5. Katusa still in the pits. You do have the two Mercedes out and about, but they're on medium, so they're not going to be setting their fastest times just yet. Kent comes back into the pits. Mikey, part of the McLaren outfit. He's just going to get a bit of a dry run in. No ERS being used, but a bit of DRS, just getting a feel for this circuit. Stevens put in a 110.4. Who else do we have out and about? Jack's pretty much going to be coming into the pits unless he's gone for a second run, which he might do around here because it is a short circuit in Slavos. It's not a huge outlap. No, Jack comes into the pits, clips Kiri with Maris. Bruce puts in a 109.8. I can tell you that's pretty not as fast as he can go because he wouldn't have had a lot of ERS to use. Meanwhile, Stephen has started a lap as he comes through the Curva de Sol down the Reta Aposta. Green and black kick Salbacar to Desida de Lago. He keeps it a little bit tighter then going in on the entry to turn 5 as he goes through Ferradura and Larinia. Tabiko to Pato. Gets him nicely tucked in on the apex. Good stuff this from Mo Steven. It looks to be a good lap so far. What's it going to be on the second sector? He's 9/10 to the good on his own time. It's going to put him a 109.6 at the moment, roughly speaking. We'll put him up to 7th ahead of Matty Rudd. Comes to the line, keeps it to the left hand side for the shortest run. It's going to be a 109 dead for 7th place. So far. Not far behind Nitrogash, but you have to remember Nitrogash has done that on medium tyres. That's not on the softs. So Mikey into the pits. Maris is on lap. Sir Spud's just started. We've also got Gattuso. Let's go on board with this season's champion. Pinarino into turn 8. Pinarino a little bit tight on the entry to Pinarino. You want to sort of open it out a little bit more than that. Pico to Pato. A bit better. Just a nice wider entry into it just to open the angle of the corner. Through Magulio, yeah, pretty much flat. Into Junsao. Not touching the curb, using all the curb on the exit. Now blast the ERS all the way to the line now. Use everything you've got to the line, and it's a 108.201. Only just ahead of Jack there for pole position. We have Ruddo on an outlap. We're going to follow him around. We've got Sir Spud. I think it's just maybe got a draft. Most team didn't look all that nice, to be fair. 110.0. Probably not where Spud really wanted to be. I don't know whether O'Stephen maybe trying to give him a bit of slip down the main straight. It just looked a little bit messy. It's on board with Ruddo 24 in the Williams camp. They were twitch through the first part of Senate S. Through the Curva de Sol, absolutely flat, lovely stuff. Gathered it quite nicely between 1 and 2. So we head down towards Desida de Lago. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Just letting it roll through the corner, picking it up early. Yeah, this is where famously Hamilton crashed in qualifying 4 on the outside of Larinia. Pico to Pato. We don't really have any times because Ruddo hasn't set a time yet. We're not getting any splits from him. We are getting split sector times, but I don't know what that translates to into what potentially could be doing. 52.121 at the second sector. And here we go, rinse that ERS all the way down to the start-finish line. He may well run out of here as he approaches the line. Well, it's 108.230, just behind Jack for now. And I think you'll find a little bit of time if you can get the transition between 1 and 2 in the Senna S just a little bit smoother. Just that little twitch will cost you a little bit of time. Bruce on a lap at present, I think, as is Kent. Kent to the line, he goes fourth quickest, a 108.4. We got Mikey coming through on an out lap. We've got a Mercedes coming through on an out lap. Typhoon, no, he's on the next one. We've got Gattuso on another lap here, so he's at a cool down and a go again. What can he achieve as he arrives at the line? A 107.963. First man into the 107s he goes. Matty Rudd. It's a 109.425, so he does improve, but not enough to cause any change as Sir Spud now comes to the line. Goes quicker, but again, doesn't move up. Bruce, 6/10 of the good on his current lap, puts him on a 109.2. Put him ahead of Matty Rudd, but potentially more to come through the end of this lap. And runs out of ERS right at the end of the lap as a 108.8, 8th place for now for the Williams. Clips Kiri coming through to start a lap, I think that is. Meanwhile, Ruddo 24 coming through to start a lap. Mikey coming through, he's setting better pace. Puts himself at 12th at the moment, a 109.220. It's close times between everyone right now. So Stephen starts a lap. We got, is that Nitro just come through? Yeah, Nitro into 5th place with a 108.469. And we've got his teammate Ginger Tiger coming to the line on his possibly first wire on the sauce, maybe. But it puts himself into 2nd place, a 108.145. Now remember, the Mercedes have an outside chance. They're 21 points behind. But the maximum you can score in an evening is 32. So it only takes for the Astons and the Williams to come to trouble. And the Mercedes have a good sniff. So Ruddo puts in a 108.187, 3rd place for now. Jack coming up towards Ferragura and Larinia. Stephen is on a lap. And he comes to the line. 108.6 does improve, goes ahead of Bruce into 9th place. Meanwhile, Mikey into the pits, because I don't think Mikey was going to come from the lap. Ginger Tiger is not on a lap, but Jack is. I say he is. He's down by 1.7 on this lap on medium ERS, so something's gone wrong on that lap for Jack. He'll come into the pits, get a new set of boots, go again. Clip's not really on a lap either. He's got Ruddo behind who isn't on a lap. I know Stephen has invalidated. So now we're just getting the final. Is that Kent coming out? Or is that? Yes, it is Kent coming out of the pits with Maris behind him. I'm going to say we're going to have a slight lull in proceedings as everyone prepares for their final runs, but Kent has decided he's going to go early. I think Kent may well be going for a sort of out lap, fly lap, cool down lap, fly lap again. He'll have enough time to do that, just about, I think. It's either that or he's fancying a second warm-up lap because he's not gone to the ERS mode. So Kent going for 2 warm-up laps here in the Red Bull. So unfortunately Keza not here tonight, his teammate. Kent just allowing Maris to go through. Let's ride on board with Maris. The two Aston Martins are out on circuit. There's a McLaren of Jack coming out as well. Trying to get some clear space to do his lap, but Maris 0.043 up on his current time through sector 1 as we go through to see the Lago. Aston Martin stays out of the way. Good stuff from him. Buzzing the engine. Just a little bit wide though. Didn't get the front end to bite on the second part of the horseshoe. And Maris will have a little bit of work to do here through Pinarino and Bico to Pato. Guguni at the back end looking a little bit on the skatey side. And yeah, he's lost a bit of time. Oh, took too much curb, runs wide. Somehow doesn't get invalidated. But yeah, that's you'll have to go for a cool down. He's going to come into the pits. As he buzzes the engine. That's very harsh on that engine. Is Typhoon on a lap. And Kent comes to the line to start his. Possible final attempt for Kent. Typhoon, however, is just going through the middle part of the circuit. Oh, there's Kent. Kent had a moment down at the centre S. I think he spun it. So Kent will have to go again. Meanwhile, Typhoon, 0.171 up on his current time. Put him up a couple of places here if you can keep this going. Doesn't stay left, and I think he loses time by doing that, and because of that, he stays in 8th place. He's going to go again though, 50% of battery, not a lot of battery to do another hot lap with. I'd also be tempted if he's got the fuel to back this off. Yes, he has. Back off on the ERS and just try and go for another one. Gattuso's gone for a second warm up. Jack's on medium ERS at the moment, maybe getting a bit of a feel. Bruce is on now. Kent's come around to start what will probably be his final lap of the session. So that's an amazing time of 1:19.273, does Kent. Oh, and he has a big slide at the centre S again. I think he just takes a bit too much curb on the first part, and it just unsettles the car as he goes to transition the way into the right-hander. Jack coming through as he starts his final lap of the session. I think he's got Gattuso. Further around, he's got some traffic. There's a Williams ahead of him. Williams stays well out of the way. Up towards Bico to Pato for Gattuso and the Aston Martin. Can he improve? Can he make this gap bigger to the rest of the pack? He is 1.12 up on his current time as he heads to the line for what will probably be the final time, because he's not going to have enough hot lap or enough energy in the batteries to do another one straight after. To the line he goes. It's going to be a 1:07.979. He loses time in that final sector as Ruddo starts his latest attempt. We have Jack off. Jack is off the road. That's at Magulio. Not common to spin the car at Magulio if you take too much curb, but that's the end of Jack's session because he isn't going to get to the line in time, I don't think. Nitro goes into 5th. Bruce will start another lap. Jack into the pits. That's the end of his session. 4th is the highest he'll start. Clips Kiri to come to the line. Is Mikey on a lap? Yes, he is. Mikey is on a lap. He just about runs out of ERS. Clips the wall up to the line, and that's probably cost him a bit of time, that. That was a bit weird, that, from Mikey, but he's going to start himself in 12th place. Clips Kiri 6th at the moment. Got Stephen coming to the line. Can he improve on 1:08.601? The answer to our question, he stays out well wide, is he does improve by a tiny, tiny margin. Does not improve enough for a position. Who else do we have? We've got Ruddo to the line. He can't improve. So 3rd place is where he's going to start. I think the only person left on a lap, really, is Bruce. And looking at that count, he was 2 seconds down on his time. So the session getting harder and harder to find lap time. Yeah, Bruce is going to be like a 1:12. Yeah, 1:12.6, so nowhere near that pace. It is going to be Gattuso who takes pole position here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And yeah, it seemingly got harder to find time in this session. Makes you wonder if it just got a little bit warmer in track temperature, just enough to make the tyres go off a little bit. The drivers finding it hard to set their best at the end, and Gattuso and Typhoon in a good place here for the constructors. Remember, they don't have to outscore Williams here. They just have to make sure they don't lose 6 points to them. The only thing I don't know is count back. What might happen on that one? But your final grid of Season 20. Gattuso takes pole position. Joining him on the front row is Ginger Tiger. Row 2 is occupied by Rado and Jack. Row 3 is Nitrogash and Clips Kiri, with Kent in 7th, Typhoon joining him on row 4. Row 5 has O Stephen and Bruce, with row 6 containing Maris and Mikey. Matty Rudd and Sir Spud will take the last final row of the grid on row number 7 for 13th and 14th. They're going to have a little bit of work cut out tonight as they try and battle their way through the pack. Spud, and Spud, I think you need to fire your weatherman, Spud, because that is monsoon. This is exactly what we expect from Interlagos. Spud was apparently on heavy fuel on his race setup, so maybe getting a bit of extra race practice time, but holy moly, I don't think anyone's got a wet setup tonight. And it is hacking it down. I'm trying to look in the garages to see. I'm going to take a punt. It's going to be full wets to start this race on. Although we have seen in the past people taking the inters if the rain is going to sort of subside away quick enough. But I can't see what the compounds are at in the garages at the moment. But yeah, obviously the Kick Sauber team not paying their weatherman enough to tell him the right info. I must also stress though, IRL does run on an approximate weather basis. Because it adds a little bit of mystery into it. You know, he's not always correct. You know, sort of in real life we've seen it before where they've said, oh, there's rain due, and it doesn't come, or there's rain due and it's only light and it comes in really, really heavy. So, you know, just adds a little bit of realism into it in terms of you're never quite sure what the weather might do. It might suddenly turn on you in an instant. Look at the standings. It doesn't actually say who's got the most wins in this in the graphic. So we'll have to have a look at that a bit later if it comes to pass that we end up tight on points. To update the weather, or just get a different one, Spud. It depends what app you use. Yeah, this is... I mean, don't get me wrong. The drivers are going to be sat there cursing like you wouldn't believe, because this is probably not what they expected. It's not what they practiced for. It's not even sort of probably what their setups are for. So they're not going to enjoy this very much. But from a spectator point of view and a commentator point of view, this is brilliant stuff. We, as a commentator and spectator, always love rain. It spices things up. It neutralises everything. All of a sudden, you know, you got the car control element is so much more profound. Anything can happen, and whoever's leading the race gets to be the sort of guinea pig of the pack. No one really knows what sort of grip you're going to have into turn 1 or any other point of the circuit when you start racing at full speed. So whoever's leading is going to have that guinea pig sort of title to their name. And as I expected, everyone on the extreme wet tyres. Full wets for everyone. I mean, to be honest, in real life, they probably wouldn't race in this. But this isn't real life, and it's fantastic. So the drivers are going to go ahead. I'm not going to bother putting up the tyres. We all know they're on full wets. I'll put that up when we have some pit stops coming in to see if people change onto the inters later in this race. So just trying to test out the limits of grid. But just a final go through the grid order. Gattuso, Ginger Tiger, row 1. Row 2, Ruddo and Jack. Row 3, Nitro and Clips. Row 4, Kent, Typhoon. Row 5, O'Steven, Bruce. Row 6 is Maras and Mikey. And row 7, Matty Rudd, Sir Spud. It looks like Maras and Bruce have had a slight coming together on the formation up. They've been reset to the grid. Gattuso and Ginger will have quite possibly the better spots on the grid, because as you can see, the star is on a hill, but the first couple of places, that front row is on a much more level part of it. I say that, but it's not much more. I'm pretty certain in real life the starting's a bit further down, but could be wrong. But here we go. We're going to have the 5 red lights, and for the final time this season, we are racing at Sao Paulo for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. 36 laps to decide the Constructors' Championship. Who's going to have the best getaway? Ruddo's got a good start. He's up into second, but he's challenging. He's side by side with Ginger Tiger down through the Senna S. And a little bit of a squeeze from the Mercedes. It's a hard squeeze, but it's hard racing. Well, as Ruddo gets a bit of a snap through Curva de Sol. Kent up a place. He's into 6th. Nitro looking to get past Jack down the Retta Aposta. He does get past Jack as we head into Descida del Lago for the first time. Mikey up 3 places into 9th. There's a little bit wide out of Descida del Lago, but he gets away with it. Maris in 10th. Matty Rudd up to 11th. Bruce down to 12th at the moment, the final points paying position. O'Steven down 4 as he's down into 13th place. Kent's made a move on Jack now. And here comes Typhoon looking down the inside. A little bit of contact. The space probably not really there. Door was always going to shut. And it's allowed Clips Kiri down the inside of the Aston Martin. But it's okay because the other Aston Martin in the lead at the moment from Ginger Tiger by 1.5 as Typhoon just about retains that 7th place. And Mikey looking for a move on Clips Kiri here. Round the outside of Magulu. That's not going to work. Not in these conditions at least anyway. Into Jun Sao. Oh my word. Clips getting all out of shape on the entry. Just about keeping it in line, but Gattuso leads by 1 second. Ruddo will be looking to get past Ginger Tiger soon so he can get after that Aston Martin. He's looking to the inside, and I think that should be job done for the Williams. Now he can get after the Aston Martin. He needs to get after him to stand a chance. Meanwhile, Clips and Typhoon side by side through the Senna S into the Curva de Sol. Oh my word, and Clips is rallying in that thing. He is sliding around like you wouldn't believe. But Clips Curry holding off for 7th place for now. Jack ahead. There's Kent. Kent's had an absolute mighty start at the moment. He's gained 2 places. He's down the inside through Larinia. That's not normally a place you overtake. Nitro somehow just about keeping ahead, but what a run that was from Kent. Trying an audacious move in a place you just do not normally make an overtake. We head down the Giulio for the second time of 36. Ruddo less than a second away from Gattuso, but remember there's going to be no DRS at the moment, not in these conditions. It'll be funny to watch, but unfortunately the FIA and race control thinking it's not quite yet safe to do so and let them loose. Meanwhile, Kent on the grass trying to get past Nitro Gas through 14 and 15. He's on the outside. How late does he dare brake? At the 50 board. Oh, there's a bit of a collision. Ken will take the place. Oh, and Nitro runs wide. This is going to give a chance to Jack behind. Look at the run of the McLaren. Can't see the McLaren anymore because of the spray. Look at that. Good luck seeing it in what's in front of you there. Oh, Jack gets really squirrely. That's going to allow Clip to run. Yes, it does. Round the outside. On the exit to see Delago. Are they going to stay side by side into Ferragura? No, Clips thinks I'm not going to participate in that overtake. I'm going to live to fight another day. Bruce up into 10th, so Matty Rudds has dropped down, as has Maras. We're down 1 place now into 14th. Oh, that's not the line from Clips. Getting on the grass is not what you're looking to do. It will only invite pressure. Kent, obviously, in front of Nitro. I don't think Nitro's going to be too impressed with the move. I think he's going to feel he got a little bit squeezed on the apex there, all onto the curb. So we're interested to see what happens from that. But Gattuso picks up, fastest lap. He's now 1.5 seconds ahead of Ruddo at this stage of the Grand Prix. But it is very early days. There's Stephen getting past Maris there. Maris looking for a switch back. Oh, he could get a good run through Curva de Sol here because he's open at the corner nicely, but it looks like the back was sliding around, so he's not really able to get the power down. No, Stephen takes the place. Mikey on the back of Typhoon by 0.6 of a second. This is what we're going to see from the TV camera. It's not usual that Mikey can see his own teammate up ahead on the road. There's good signs from the McLaren driver. He's been a bit off the boil this season as Mikey. He's definitely got more pace than he's shown this season. And definitely more consistency as he's fighting the car into Vico to Pato, trying to keep it in a straight line. He's going to have a good run actually out of Junsao. Oh my word, that's not a place you want to lose the back end. Well held by Mikey, but that is very costly. From 0.3 to a second as Jack now down the inside of Nitro Gas. That's 5th place for Jack. He was once a title contender in this championship. 5 laps down. After 6, we'll have a look at constructors' points. Bruce gets past Mikey now. He's one and a half behind Typhoon. He's got to get the leg stretched here as Bruce. Same as Ruddo, the 2 Williams. Losing points to the Aston Martins at the moment. Meanwhile, Clips all over the back of Nitrogash at present. You've seen this from Ruddo before as well. He's just hovering around that 1.2 second at the moment. He's almost kind of just trying to keep a par here with Gattuso to build a gap back to Ginger. As Clips gets a good run, gets alongside, he's on the curb, dangerous through that section. But Gattuso picked up fastest lap. Clips gets the move done, and Nitro really struggling in these conditions. Just unable to seemingly put the power down. He's got a 2.2 second gap back to Typhoon. If he's not careful, that will close quite quickly. Kent is caught up to the back of Ginger Tiger. And we head on to lap number 6. Tenths of a second, but further back we've got Maras all over the back of O'Stephen, but nothing coming of it at the moment. Into this middle sector, it's hard in the wet. It's quite hard to overtake in this middle sector because you can't really go off the line. If you go off the line, you obviously end up with a lot more water present on the circuit, less grip, harder to control. Typhoon losing time to Nitro, and Bruce is slowly closing the gap to the Aston Martin. Ginger Tiger. It looks like the rain is starting to ease off now. So it's still a little bit too wet for intermediates, but the rain is definitely lighter than it was before at the start of this race. So it won't be long before I think we're going to get ourselves some intermediate running. Just having a look at the moment to see what the championship picture is like right now. And at present, Aston Martin are champions by 11 points, because I think Gattuso still has fastest lap, and yes he does. What you got to remember here is if Renault passes Gattuso, that's not just worth 3 points to Williams, that's worth 6 points. Reason being is that obviously Aston Martin lose 3 points, Williams gain 3 points. So it's a net of a 6 point gain here. Additions out for the 7th time tonight. Jack's just lost a bit of ground to these two of Kent and Ginger Tiger. He's got clips all over the back of him. There's Gattuso. You can see now the lap time's starting to really come down. 1 minute 20.9. Oh, as Clips goes to the outside of Jack up towards centre S. Jack must have had a bad run coming out of Jinsao. Loses the place to the Haas, and he gets it all wrong through the second pass. Could allow Nitro a bit of a sniff here. He gets a good line. Well, Kent absolutely bolted to the back of this Mercedes. Verjora, Larinia. You see Kent just has a little bit more confidence compared to Ginger Tiger right now. Able to keep the car tighter. That's Nitrogash. Oh, Nitrogash has got past Jack, going through Magulio. Jack having to go off the road, so what's happening here to Jack? He is losing time, hand over fist right now. And now he's got Typhoon for company. There's Ginger Tiger. So this is where we're going to now change to... and get it right, the tyres. Ginger Tiger and Nitrogash, the two Mercedes, are going to be the guinea pigs. Here come the intermediate tyres. Good stop, very little delay for Nitrogash in the pit. And this is going to get very interesting. I'm going to put this to the leader so we can see if there's much difference here between Ginger and Gattuso with this tyre change. As Ginger Tiger comes out just ahead of Sir Spud. 25.9, 26 seconds or by shouting is what Ginger Tiger is now behind. He's a loss of about 20 seconds. 21 second pit stop for Sao Paulo. And this is the problem, if he's got lots of grip, he needs to get past Matty Rudd now to use it. Question is, are we going to get any other pit stops? Gattuso not coming in. Ruddo is going to come in. He's going to gamble. And make sure he gets the car slowed down. Kent stays out. Clips comes in. Jack is coming into the pits, as is Typhoon. Bruce is coming in, and there's nice stuff for Williams because they won't get done by double stacking. O'Stephen stays out. Mara stays out. What will Matty Rudd do? He's coming up to the pit lane now. He stays out. Oh, and Ginger Tiger going off circuit to almost try and make a move here. He's going to look down the inside of Matty Rudd. He's going to slide one down the inside. Matty Rudd almost getting a bit surprised there. That'll be why Matty Rudd's so slow. He's got end plate damage. So we now have Ginger Tiger don't think he's really gained on Ruddo here, but then he did sit behind Matty Rudd for a little bit of time. In fact, Clips is now ever closer to the Mercedes. Oh my word, that's a huge moment for Matty Rudd. Why, that was almost a massive swapper, and those wets do not look nice. Ruddo is actually in a nice little bit of clean air here. Gattuso is in the pits now to cover. Kent decides, no, the wets are fine for him. He does actually set a fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 20.7. Gattuso in the pits. Where's Ruddo? He's coming up to the line. Mikey's staying out. This is O'Stephen. Ginger sets a fastest time of a 1:19.7. And Ruddo comes out of this about 1.5 seconds away from Gattuso, so no real massive change as Clips goes past Ginger Tiger into the seat of Delago. No real change then at the front. 1.4 seconds for Ruddo. The only problem here is Gattuso has got 3 people ahead of him. And 3 people who are very willing to defend their position. Oh, as Gattuso just runs into the back of O'Stephen, he's got to be careful. The last thing he needs now is wing damage in this weather. Oh, as he gets the back end right out coming out of Junsao. And Ruddo, he's gonna like the look of that car right now if it's gonna be sliding around like that. And Gattuso probably on the overtake, but O'Stephen's not going to give this one up without a fight. We know the way O'Stephen drives. He does not give anything up without a fight. But he might now give that one up. As here comes Ruddo now, looking to go around the outside of Curva de Sol. He's going to find it, and this could be a bit of a problem as Ruddo now switches to the inside. I don't think there's going to be much O'Stephen can do about that one. Oh, Gattuso, 3-second penalty for the Aston Martin driver. He's round wide to Cedar Delago, and that's his 3rd track limit infringement, which means a 3-second penalty is now going to be applied to his time at the end of this race. This changes the complexion of things. Mikey just opens up the door, but he's going to stay side by side into Magulio. Oh, this is dodgy scenes. Yeah, and Gattuso with more grip. You can just see Mikey all over the place, just understeers off wide at Junsao. Does release Ruddo, but O'Stephen, who Mikey is fighting for position, now gets past him. I don't know if we're maybe expecting the heavy rain to come back, and maybe that's what those on the wets are looking for. Maybe looking for a safety car. About 13 we have, and Ruddo is only 6/10 away from Gattuso. Matty Rudd finally comes into the pit. I'm assuming he's going to get a wing change as well here, because it's evident he is losing time hand over fist with that broken front wing. Nope, he's leaving the front wing on. Okay, that's interesting. So everyone bar 3 have gone to the intermediates, and Ruddo now within half a second, or just over now, and just under again. So this is going to be very interesting. Bruce 2.7 away from Typhoon. It looks like he's struggling to make up that time. Jack, after all the issues he had, he's down in 9th now, 7/10 away from Nitro. Stephen and Mikey. Oh, that's getting tight between Mikey and Clips. Clips just about staying out of the back end of the McLaren. It's definitely not a place you want to go in there. Is the back end of that McLaren. Oh my word, and the McLarens almost went diving into the wall. Redden now has the fastest lap of the race. But they're still under pressure here, the Williams. Bruce just doesn't seem to be able to extract the pace out of his car as Clips gets past O'Stephen down into Decido Delago. Gap at the front is closing. Kent very much hoping for a safety car at this point. It's 14 laps nearly in the books. No Stephen. We want to Stephen does best, which is pretty much annoy people that have already pitted. I must stress, he is absolutely within his right to do this. Just because he is on the slower tyre right now, this is for position on track, so he is allowed to defend his position. It's up to the drivers how they want to drive, but that car is really not looking very stable. Oh my word. Oh, here we go. We're going to go side by side up towards the centre S. This could end in tears because, like I say, O'Stephen's not really going to give this one up without much of a fight. Without much fight, without a fight, but he will have to concede that position. Mikey now on the back of. So on the back of, he's just in front of Nitrogash. As Nitrogash now looks to make a move. Goes one way, goes the other. Gets the inside for Decido Delago. Oh, Mikey's going to a little bit of contact there. Mikey comes back on. I think there's a little bit of racing there. I think Mikey may just trying to squeeze the Merc a little bit. Not quite working the way he wants. Now his teammate's going to come up, and this should be a fairly routine. Oh my word, Jack, how have you saved that in the background? I mean, what's more impressive is Jack's had the moment, and Mikey's the one who spun it. I don't know if there's some sort of psychic link or like some sort of connection between those two, but Jack had the start of the moment, Mikey finished it. That's what you call teamwork. Not really the teamwork the McLarens are looking for, but it's teamwork of a certain way, I guess you could say. There's Nitro. He gets past O'Stephen now. Jack into the pit. Are we about to see what I think we're about to see? Yes, hard tyres for the McLaren. We have the first man on slicks. Bring on the rainbow skittles of tyres. Let's have every combat out there. So this is what Kent was then looking for. Then he was looking to go straight to the dry period. And it's currently working because Gattuso only 3 seconds behind us. So Spud now picks up the fastest lap of the race. Go on, Spud. Love it of Spud taking fastest lap action. The question is, Jack's put on the hard tyres. They're not going to warm up very quickly in these conditions. Obviously, they will last till the end of the race, as Typhoon has got past O'Stephen. Mikey's picked up 3 seconds of penalties. Bruce now the next man to come up to the back of O'Stephen. Which way that back end's going to be facing, I don't know yet, as Kent comes into the pits. We go back to Bruce and O'Stephen. Bruce coming out, and Sal should have a good run. He will, and I think O'Stephen... Oh, Bruce comes into the pits just ahead of O'Stephen. Oh, Nitro Gash has got 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Everyone coming into the pit, and it's a double stack for the Mercedes. What's Bruce? We got Typhoon on the mediums. We're going to have Bruce on the hards. O'Stephen onto the mediums for the Sauber there. Mikey coming into the pits. He's going to go mediums. Sir Spud's coming into the pits now. And all within this, Ruddo has moved into the lead of this race. Kent 20.8. This might have worked well for Kent. But again, he's got to get those tyres up to temperature. The overcut, generally speaking, when you're going from wet compound to dry compound, the overcut... Oh, Ruddo just about got that slowed down. He was doing everything, going wide, turning left and right. Just about got that slowed down in time. He did. I think he did actually gain a little bit of time. It's going to be the mediums for Ruddo, hards for Gattuso. Where is Kent in all this? Kent coming up towards the centre S now. And Ruddo and Gattuso are going to have to be careful coming out of this pit lane, because that pit lane is not going to be fully dry yet. Tell you what, Kent might get Gattuso here. Gattuso's had a bit of a moment, I think, in the pit lane. Yes, Gattuso's hit the wall. This is major news in the championship. Gattuso has taken off a huge chunk of his front wing. He's crashed in the pit lane exit. Very easy to do in these conditions, but that is horrendous stuff for Gattuso and Aston Martin in the championship. This is big time loss coming for Gattuso, because he's gonna have no choice but to pit, surely. He's gonna be a sitting duck through the corners with that front wing. That's big damage. Already now 3 seconds behind Kent. Clips closing the gap to the Aston Martin. What's he going to do? Is he going to try and hang this out a little bit? Yes, he is going to hang this out. So, like I say, big news in the championship here. Gattuso has a battered front wing. There's no nice way of saying it. Ruddo is out in front on the medium tyre. He thinks maybe, can he make that tyre last? We will wait and see. Nitro Gas now puts in the fastest lap of the race. Jack is got past Bruce. I know Stephen is on the back of Bruce, but remember there is a tyre compound difference right now between those two. Matty Rudd has only just come in the pits for his intermediates. That should mean that Sir Spud goes up a place, but at the moment all 14 runners still driving around as Nitro down the inside gets past Typhoon. Yes, Spud. 13-0, fastest lap for the fastest potato around. Fantastic stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not being horrible to Spud. It probably will get taken back by the likes of Ruddo, but it's fantastic to see. Meanwhile, Gattuso has to try and fend off Clips Kiri. As he comes up to the line. Yeah, there goes Ruddo on 11.9 on the mediums. I don't really know what Ruddo's plan is, but Clips Kiri, he's going to go through. And after the completion of 19 laps, let's take a look at how the drivers stand. When I say this drivers, I mean the constructors. Ginger Tiger now picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties. Meanwhile, his teammate is fighting Typhoon through the centre S and through Curva de Sol. Just about fending off the charge of Typhoon. And Sir Spud takes back fastest lap. So it means at present present, Williams are a point behind. Williams are 1 point behind. That is all, folks. This is how things change very quickly. And Gattuso, he's not losing time to those behind. So somehow, I'm not really sure how he's managing to do this. But the gap to Ginger Tiger, I'm going to do a bit of lap telemetry, shall we say. The gap to Ginger Tiger now 5.5 as Typhoon looks to get past Nitrogash, and he is going to get past Nitrogash. Remember, there is a difference in tyre. But that would put an extra point onto the tally for Aston Martin right now. Sir Spud picks up 3 seconds of penalty, so we're starting to see these penalties come through. And Ginger Tiger, yeah, there we go, 4.6, 4.5, so now he is finally taking some time. Oh, Gattuso in a fair chunk of it through this middle sector. But then all of a sudden, it's almost like Gattuso is just able to just stretch his legs a little bit. And he's coming into the pits. He knows he's losing too much time here. So Gattuso into the pits. Ginger Tiger up to 4th. Typhoon into 5th. Nitro 6th. Gattuso. Where's he going to come out? That's the big question. Bruce goes past. Jack goes past. O'Stevens gone past. Maris and Mikey, they're going to go past. I think he's going to be safe from Sir Spud. That's if he doesn't crash in the pit lane again. He's gone onto the medium tyre. They should last till the end. Jack and Bruce. Oh, you're close to this barrier again was Gattuso. But Gattuso, a lot of work ahead of him now. We have the battle of Typhoon and Nitrogash still going on. But this will change things now. Just plug in the positions of the drivers. So this would mean a 7-point win for the Williams team right now. So Spud still holds fastest lap. Brilliant. That's fantastic to see. Typhoon trying to fend off Nitrogash at this point in time. Already 3 seconds to the good over Kent. Maybe just now started just going to tyre conservation mode here for Ruddo. Jack and Bruce. Nitro gets past Typhoon. Oh, a bit of contact between the two through to see Delago. It's tight as we go up the hill. Through Ferragura into Larenia, still side by side. Fantastic driving from the pair. And Nitrogash looks like he's going to get this move done. A little bit of a lockup from Typhoon into Pinarino. Completes the move for the Mercedes. So now it's 8 points for the Astons to try and catch up. This is not going to be easy at all. As here comes Typhoon, DRS wide open, down towards the centre S for the 24th time. Oh, still side by side. Oh, a little bit of the cut, but Nitro's going to get that place back for now. Typhoon gets a switch back. But the Mercedes has DRS. Gattuso picks up fastest lap of the Grand Prix of 109.7. Cuts it to 7. The biggest problem now, he's going to push hard on those tyres. How long before they wear out? Because, I mean, they will wear and they will get a lot worse. Also just notice Bruce has solidified his place in 7th. Which kind of neutralises that fastest lap from Gattuso. And the three of them, Bruce, Jack, Stephen, all together and pretty much all sort of losing time here, fighting with each other, but there we go, it's the last Grand Prix. Already now 4.1 to the good. Clips Kiri picks up 3 seconds of time penalties, and the way this is going, if Typhoon can stay on the back of these guys, as Jack now picks up a place off Bruce, where Stephen tries to go, oh, Jack's round into the wall, Jack is out of the Grand Prix. This might be, it is a safety car. Jack lost the back end through the first part of the Senna S. Jack is out. Oh my word. The complexion of this Grand Prix has changed again. Everyone's going to be in. And I'm just going to cheekily invite Jack into here if he would like to join us for the last part of this season. But yeah, Ruddo is in the pits. Everyone's going to be in. Wow, 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 wow. This is chaos. Soft tyres for Ruddo. Mediums for Kent. Softs for Clips. Ginger Tiger's going to come in, and there's going to be a double stack for Mercedes. It's mediums for Ginger. Typhoon's onto the softs. Bruce, what's he going to switch on to? Softs for Bruce. Softs for Stephen. Maris coming into the pits. Nitro onto mediums, but he's lost out a lot of time here. And he also had that 10-second penalty as well. Maris doesn't quite beat out the Mercedes. 3 people going on the mediums instead. Safety car at this late stage of the Grand Prix. So what happens to the points now? It's also going to help Gattuso to some degree. Pretty certain no one's going to be taking away fast lap from Gattuso, although they might do now with the soft compound tyre. But at present, if the race were to end right now, Williams win the Constructors by 6 points. All the drivers filtering through as we Matty right at the back. Trying to get at least 3 laps of safety car here. Matty Rush still needs to catch up to the back of the pack. Jack won't be joining us for comms, fortunately, and not surprisingly, probably a bit of a disappointing end to that to a season there, Jack. Safety car still going round. We're going to get probably another lap of safety car, I think, here. way the Williams are going to look at this here, the less laps, the better. Fields together. We're going to be having this lap of safety car, then 8 laps of racing, or at least supposed racing, to come. There's enough penalties out here to cause a difference. Gattuso being the main one, 3 seconds for him on the penalty tally. The feeling that really for Williams, the safety car probably wasn't the ideal situation for them. I mean, granted, it has gifted as, I don't really know why, we've suddenly had a load of position swaps, but the safety car is in this lap. But yeah, with Gattuso being so far back and with gaps in between, it had taken Gattuso a few laps to actually get through the pack, whereas now he's right on the back of everyone. Also means Bruce is on the back of Typhoon. Go on board with the rudder. Oh, and then Nitro Garage picks up a 10-second penalty for a severe collision with Maris, and that says to me Maris has driven into him. Ruddo gets going late on in the straight, and he's going to have an okay-ish getaway here. 3/10 to the good. Ginger Tiger. Oh, that's very tight between the Mercedes and the Williams of Bruce. Bruce looks to have had a great getaway, but couldn't quite get the job done through the centre S. Gattuso's picked up another set of 3 seconds of penalties. Gattuso and Nitro Gas going side by side. I don't know what's happened to Nitro. Again, no real damage on the car. Maris picks up 3 seconds now as well. But we are racing once again here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Things will be changing every minute. We'll give it a few laps, just let everything settle out as Gattuso gets past Matty Rudd. He's up into 9th place now. Everyone streams through Magulio. There's Stephen in 7th place. So good result for him. Obviously, he got a podium last time out in Abu Dhabi. So good drive from the Sauber man. So we continue on through. Ruddo leads by 0.4 of a second to Kent, who's 0.3 of a second to the good of Kiri. So Spud has got past Nitro. I'm more starting to wonder, has Nitro got rear damage on the rear wing or the underfloor, because, or is this just purely compound difference? Because he's on the mediums. Gattuso gets past Maris. But here comes the problem now for Gattuso, is he's got to get through this pack, build gaps, and that's not going to be easy when you're trying to fight through a pack. Just driving around the outside of Stephen. And the question is, how much ERS is he going to burn here to get through this pack? I want to mention as well, just the tyre wear factor. Six laps to go here in Brazil. Oh, Bruce has just lost the back end a little bit going into Junsao. That allows Gattuso through into 6th place. DRS is active. So let's just have a quick look at the point standings here. And 12, unfortunately for Nitro. fast lap, I believe, still with Gattuso. Oh, that's the wrong button. It's Nitro fighting with Sir Spud. Yeah. So at the moment, Williams, they are dead level. It is dead level game here between Aston Martin and Williams. Bruce, ideally, will want to get past O'Stephen as Maris and Matty. Oh, there's definitely been contact between Maris and Matty because they've lost bits of their front wing everywhere. Bruce will want to get past O'Stephen. This is now almost championship critical. And this swap between the Aston Martin drivers comes. Smart decision. On to lap 32, Ruddo. He's lost the lead. Kent is now in the lead of this race, and that is big terms because that's 3 points of a difference. And Ruddo into the clutches of Clips. Down to Decido de Lago and Gattuso. I mean, he's making this look like a Sunday drive driving through this pack. Remember, he does have 6 seconds worth of penalties though. There's Typhoon down the inside. Oh my word! I don't think Ginger Tiger's going to be happy about the unpoliteness of that move, but he went for a gap, found the gap somehow. Oh, big moment for Typhoon. Loses the back end, loses the place. He's going to have DRS though going down the main straight, but is allowing the likes of O'Stephen and Bruce to catch up. They're now also within DRS range. Ruddo back to the front of the pack. Gattuso 2 seconds away from Clips. So almost shouting as Kent gets back into the lead. Almost showing 2.8, so 6 seconds puts him at 8. So at the moment behind Maris. So Spud and Mikey having a little bit of a battle behind for the last couple of points paying positions. Matty Rudd just not having a good race there. So a bit of damage with Maras. Oh, Sir Spud, that's a cheeky move. Looking to the inside. Couldn't quite find the gap, but I like the ideas. 33 laps. Matty Rudd picks up 3 seconds, but in all fairness, not really a factor in anything right now. So Spud does get past Maris, although I say that he's gone wide. Altigen sat when it allows Mikey through, and Mikey should have a nice run. Oh my word, Maris chopping the door. This could end up in a big accident. Typhoon side by side with Ginger Tiger. He gets the move done. Mikey. Oh, Sir Spud's round into the wall. Luckily, he's still in the race, but he has lost part of a big chunk of his front wing. Ginger Tiger. He's run wide through to Decido de Lago. He's going to have to relinquish that place, and he picks up 3 seconds for his troubles. Oh, Bruce getting shuffled onto the curb by O'Stephen. It's getting a little bit scrappy out here. It's now shuffled back the other way. 6 points. It's an all level. All level. 6 points to the good for Aston Martin as we sit. But as I say, Gattuso still has that 6 seconds. So we'll work this all out at the end, I think, now, because Ginger Tiger gets past Typhoon. But again, Ginger Tiger has penalties. Bruce right now is in a good position. Oh, big moment for Typhoon. Nitric Gas on the grass. This is carnage at its finest. Oh, this is a big problem though. 4.2 is the gap between Gattuso and Ginger Tiger. 6 seconds there, puts him 8.2. Still behind Bruce, but the gap is growing. I'm going to leave it on that one because this is crucial for the championship in terms of what happens here. Because Bruce is now outside of the 6 seconds of Gattuso. So unless Gattuso picks up another penalty, Nitrogas does have 10 seconds, which will help Bruce out a little bit. Is Gattuso going to somehow hold on to this 4th place? What I do know, though, is we're on to the last lap, and Ruddo he's got to get past this Red Bull. Typhoon loses out to Nitro. This is getting a little bit close for comfort, and Bruce is going to take this opportunistic move to go around the outside. Bruce can get past O'Steven as well. That's just extra points. Nitro, it's 7.5. So at the moment, Gattuso has Ruddo. Ken's picked up 3 seconds. Ruddo should win this race now. And the crucial thing here, Gattuso is going to keep himself 4th place. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, Gattuso's round! Gattuso's just gone round! That could be the end of the Aston Martin Championship, but it is going to be Ruddo who comes to the line. He crosses the line, he wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Ruddo takes the final victory of the season. Clips Curie is going to be 2nd, Kent is in 3rd. Ginger Tiger finishes 4th on the road. O'Steven takes 4th, Bruce 5th, Typhoon 6th. Ginger Tiger 7th, Nitro 8th. Maras is in 9th. Mikey 10th. Gattuso, he's going to cross the line in 11th. Oh my word. What have we just witnessed? Just plugging in all the calculation work now. But I'm almost certain this puts Williams as Constructors Champions. Yes, it does, by 9 points. Williams in the final race, the final lap. I mean, that's almost as good as what happened in 2008 when Glock lost out to Hamilton, and Hamilton won the championship on the last lap in that race. It was the last lap in this race. Williams have taken the Constructors' Championship by 9 points. Congratulations to Ruddo and Bruce. What a final race that was. Gattuso and Bruce picked up Driver of the Day. And Jack has joined me after the race is finished. Hello Jack, how are you?
Hi there, Jordan.
We're going to have a quick look at this podium, because there is Ruddo. I think Kent running the Japanese flag, trying to resemble Yuki Tsunoda for when they run the Japanese Grand Prix. He's in 3rd, obviously Clips Kiri in 2nd, but the big news, Williams are Constructors Champions after that last lap mistake from Gattuso.
Yeah, it was shocking, that wasn't it? He was trying so hard to get onto the back of everybody, but kicked over the curb on the final corner at Junção, and that was it.
Yeah, and I think sort of the silly thing really there was he was clear of everyone else behind. He would have kept 4th place, and it would have put the pressure on for Bruce to make sure he stayed ahead of Typhoon. But provisional results from the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Ruddo does take the win from Clips Kiri. Kent in 3rd. O'Steven 4th. Bruce 5th. Typhoon 6th. Ginger Tiger 7th with Nitro in 8th. Maris is 9th. Mikey 10th. Gattuso is 11th with Sir Spud 12th. Matty Rudd 13th. And unfortunately, Jack, the only retirement from the Grand Prix tonight.
I had stuff to
do. You just... I was waiting to see a camera shot of you just sunbathing on a, you know...
that's what I've been doing, to be fair. I mean, I've got a great tan.
Full on Fernando Alonso vibes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been It's been another fantastic season, really. And I've got to say, last couple of races, well done to both Stephen, because he's been quietly going about his business, not been really involved in anything, and another good result tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say hello to Xerox, who's not long joined the stream. I see. Good to see you. Hope you're well. But yeah, I mean, there's been a number of drivers this season. I think they've had really good seasons. I mean, obviously we talk about Steven in the last couple of rounds. Sir Spud this season, I think, has been
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. And to be honest, I was rooting for him to keep that fastest lap tonight because that would have been
Yes.
absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I mean, the two Mercedes have had some pretty good runs as well this season. They've been quite unlucky at times. Obviously, yourself and Mikey, again, a bit unlucky. Mikey probably a little bit off the boil this season, but hopefully he'll get that back for next season on the new game. And obviously, you got to mention the Aston Martins and Gattuso. I mean, Gattuso, in reality, should have probably walked this in terms of the drivers, but it took him long enough to get it.
Yeah, it did, but I think Gattuso's come from a bit far back because he had a difficult first race. He missed, I think he missed Imola, so he was on the back foot, but he's charged right the way through, and he's had the standout season of everybody. I think his pole position or starting grid average is less than 2, so it kind of says a lot really about how phenomenal he's been in the championship. If we look at our top 3 provisionally in the championship, Kent's had a really solid season. You could argue probably could have been closer in the end had he have not had his few issues, and obviously his retirement last week didn't help him. And well done to Clips Curry for getting 3rd place, because he's improved as the season's gone on, and he's had another driver who, like, sort of just quietly low key got on about his business and got a really good result in the championship.
Well, yeah, I mean, Clips has improved season upon season. Obviously, when I used to race him season or so ago, obviously he started off sort of in that mid-pack basis, and he's slowly worked his way up the front. So it's really good to see these drivers sort of improving and getting quicker. And I think you also the one team you sort of have to mention is the Williams crew. I mean, granted they
Yeah,
inherited a nice chunk of points from the previous sitters of that car of Sam
yeah,
Flaherty and
Flaherty and
Flaherty.
Saherty, yeah, so.
I mean, they had a great. It's a shame they did this whole season because I think they would have been a real. I think they would have been a real threat for that constructors on their own. But I mean, sorry, granted they started off with a nice haul of points to begin with, but you still have to get the job done. And on the day, which was today, which they had to get the job done, they did.
They did. They did, and at one point it was looking like it was going away from them, and it was a little bit of pushing and frustration in Lee's car. I could hear it over the comms, but it's not over till the last corner, and Gattuso kind of proved that tonight.
Yeah, it's never over until you've passed that checkered flag and assumed your result.
No, absolutely. I just want to say before Jordan, I give you the chance to finish up. Just thank you for commentary this season. It's made a massive difference in terms of IRL. As always, it's been fantastic. So just want to say thank you on the stream, and I'm sure everyone who's watching will really appreciate watching it back for the whole of this season.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and obviously the Grand Prix this season have been fantastic. There's always been something to talk about, and I think that's the nice thing in terms of this league, isn't it? Is generally speaking, you never have a dull race.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, in terms of dullness, I mean, of not dullness anyway. I think Spud's going to be firing his weather crew and hiring a new one for next season because he's not happy with them apparently.
No, bless him. But yeah,
I think he used Bing weather and it told him the wrong thing.
I think just before, and also just to say before we end the stream for tonight, for everyone who's wondering, for next season we are going to be having a little mini league for Formula 2 going on between F1 24 and 25. Obviously that releases next month, so we will have a new season on F1 25. Applications will open within the first week of the game launching, so if you are watching this and you're thinking about signing up, please do. But also get onto the Discord, get onto Twitter. We'll be posting it as well on Facebook too, so we'll be getting it all out there and get involved.
Absolutely, and it's going to be good to see that little mini F2 league. I think it's a really understated, well, I say understated, underused category of car in this game.
Yeah.
And it's a very different sort of driving style, which should make for some quite interesting races.
Absolutely.
But, as we come to the end of this season number 20, the future is looking bright for IRL, and we are going towards F1 25 in about a month's time. So as Jack says, obviously if you're interested in doing the F2 mini league, keep an eye out on all the socials on Twitter and join the Discord. And obviously that'll also be the places to keep up to date of when the new F1 season comes to town in IRL, and it's going to be an absolute spectacle, I am sure. But for myself and obviously Jack, who's in the commentary box, thank you everyone for joining us this season. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed this stream, which I hope you have, because it was an absolute mental race, like the video, do like the stream, and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel with the notifications on, and it will give you a notification when we go live racing in the future. You don't want to miss them, especially with the F2 Mini League coming up soon. But for myself, JPH, and everyone here at Invictus, thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for watching this whole season, and we hope to see you in the F2 Mini League and the new F1 25 League when it gets released in the future. But for now, goodbye.